St. Johns River is an integral part of Jacksonville and the community, so we can't take it for granted. A group of activists, they're teaming up with the St. Johns River Keeper organization to help out with river preservation. Rance Adams has more on the story.
Our job to activate an army of advocates.
That is the voice of St. Johns River Keeper, Lisa Reineman. She and her group just embarked on an adventure to save the St. Johns River.
We'll be traveling the entire length of the St. Johns, all 310 miles, really raising awareness about what this river means to us and what we all need to do to protect her.
Getting acclimated to Jacksonville, I had no idea that there are problems when it comes to maintaining the St. Johns.
Unfortunately, we have changed this river for years. For more than 100 years, we've deepened, we've straightened, we've widened, and so we need to focus on potential threats with the proposed dredging, as well as agriculture runoff, nutrient pollution from fertilizers, failing septic tanks. There's problems with toxic algae blooms where you can't get out and enjoy these amazing waters, as well as urban sprawl. A lot of the headwaters around Orlando area were being threatened with unbridled growth, and as well as massive water withdrawals, taking fresh water out of the St. Johns, which will really upset the delicate freshwater saltwater balance mix right here in Jacksonville.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stop the clock. Those issues are beyond my imagination.
It's critical we look at this river holistically and we deal with all the threats in a way that we can focus on long-term health of the St. Johns for future generations.
That is a lot to process. Now, the plan for the tour is to travel 310 miles of waterways over 3 weeks. I'm sensing a speedboat in my future.
Ideally, it'd be great to paddle the entire river.
That is some true dedication. Lucky for me.
Can't take that much time, but we will be paddling segments as well as we'll be out on all different types of boats. You know, there's so many different ways to experience the St. Johns or tributaries in our springs, and we're going to have a sampling of all those different types of activities.
Whew. I could survive this trip now that I have some possible motorized options. As much time as she spends on the water, this tour marks a first for the group with another specific goal in mind for the river's preservation.
We go wherever the St. Johns River needs a voice, so we spend time throughout the watershed. This is the first time we're spending a concentrated amount of time to really focus on not only getting out on the water, out in the watershed in the community, but also connecting with those citizens that really care about that St. Johns. It takes a big village to make sure we're doing everything we can to give the river the loudest voice possible.
There are a lot of voices that need to be heard.
Everything that's at risk for human use is also at risk for animals. The St. Johns has a lot of wildlife. We just saw dolphins. We have dolphins that actually live in the St. Johns year-round, as well as manatees, many endangered species, in our fisheries.
Amplifying those voices to protect the wildlife also helps to ensure that Jacksonville's economy continues to survive and thrive.
Jacksonville is here because of the St. Johns River, as well as many communities along the way that depend on commercial fishing. And so it's important that we protect this habitat, this river, because healthy economies thrive along healthy rivers, and you can't disconnect the two. We need a balance to make sure we get both.
There are a few ways you can add your voice to the chorus to save the St. Johns River.
People can actually join us online virtually at savethestjohns.org, but also meet us along the way. There'll be several different spots where we're paddling tributaries, we're going out to springs, we're going to have events at fish camps along the way.
It's time to dive in and support your locality. I'm Rance Adams for River City Live.
Now, one of the things on my to-do list is to get in a kayak and go on the St. Johns River.
Well, you have that chance because the tour just started yesterday and people can still join in. You can join on the tour live, or you can follow their live stream online at on their website, savethestjohns.org. Now, they're also looking for other support. There's a Low Country Boil there where people can connect with those making the tour on April 1st, and that's going to be at the Ortega River. But I'm hoping that I can catch up with the mid-tour and maybe do a little bit more, and maybe I'll get the kayak in for you.
I like it. I like what you're thinking.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Rance. We'll be back right after this.